What is going on, guys? A21 Mayo here, and today we are going to be ranking all ranked maps in Rainbow Six Siege. If you guys enjoyed this video or would like to see more content from me, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to see more tier lists from me, make sure you guys leave a comment on what you want me to rank next in a tier list. With all that being said, let's get into ranking the maps. So starting off with Bank, I think Bank is a map that is worth knowing. It's one of those maps that's been in the game ever since it came out. It's been in the rank pool, I'm pretty sure, ever since the game came out. It's pretty balanced for the most part for the attacking and defending side. The only bomb site that I could really say is attacker sided is the CEO admin bomb site, since you do have those 4 external windows that allow you to go and repel as an attacker. But overall, I like the flow of the map. I like how it plays out. I like the different things you are able to do on this map. And overall, it's a solid map. Probably going to be in the rank pool for the foreseeable future in this game. So it's definitely a map worth knowing. All the different angles, pre-fires, pre-aim, things like that. Definitely worth going into a custom game for 10-20 minutes. Kind of learning the basics, what you can do, what you can't do, etc. So, good map. I enjoy playing it for the most part, which is why I think it deserves the B tier. Okay, moving on to Border. I'm going to place it below Bank, and keep in mind with this tier list, it's going to read from the top left to the bottom right. I think Border is a map that is overplayed. It's kind of stale. You don't really see much new innovation on this map, but overall, okay map. It's kind of more of a ranked favored map, kind of a rank star dream, I guess you could say, or it favors rank stars. It's an okay map. Again, I'm not really too much of a fan of the map, but I would much rather play it compared to other maps in the rank pool, so that's why I think it deserves the B tier. Bomb sites like Armory and Ventilation are definitely on the more defender side, but then you also have bomb sites like Customs and Archives Tellers, where it's not really that great for the defenders. It's pretty attacker sided for the most part. Usually a safe rule to follow whenever you look at a bomb site and want to determine whether it's attacker favored or defender favored is how many external entry points the attackers have. So, for example, on Border, the Teller's bomb site, you have the window and the wall. So those are 2 external openings that the attackers can have for the bomb site. So you have your pros and cons with the map, but again, not really a map that I look forward to playing, but I would much rather play it than other maps. Okay, moving on to Chalet. So I'm going to put Chalet above Bank and Border. The reason for this is because of how refreshing the map is. Now, if we were talking about old Chalet, it definitely would be a very low, maybe even C tier map. But since it is the rework Chalet, I think the new Chalet added everything that the old map didn't have. Because with the old Chalet and what it offered, didn't really offer much. With the evolution of the game and what we have gotten to so far, Chalet was just an outplayed map and didn't really support the almost 60 operators that we currently have in the game. You have to think about it, when Chalet came out with the game, I believe there was only 20 operators in the game, so there was much less utility that you could bring and the dynamic of your utility that you could bring. So yeah, Chalet, the old Chalet that is, with the new defenders and everything like that, was definitely not a good mixture. But with the new Chalet, very refreshing map. I enjoy playing it quite a bit. I'm kind of upset that it gets banned as much as it does in ranked. Clubhouse, definite S tier map, not much else to say here, especially with the rework that we got some years ago. It added that extra rotation ability that you have upstairs. Overall, really good bomb site. And going back to what I said about Border and having external entry points into a bomb site, Clubhouse is that one exception in that sense, just because of how long it's been in the competitive pool. What I mean by competitive is Pro League and also ranked. I love Clubhouse. Don't be surprised if this ends up being the #1 map out of all of the ranked maps. I just overall really love playing this map. I get excited every time I play this map to this day. I really enjoy playing it. Okay, Coastline. A lot of people might disagree with me here, but I think Coastline is a map where it's just too overplayed. It favors the attackers in too many situations, and it's just overall not that enjoyable for me. And I make it a very clear point in my VOD reviews, which, by the way, if you don't watch my VOD reviews, I highly suggest you do. But going back to my thought, I make it a very clear point that you want to cut off a map in half. And what I mean by cutting a map in half is, where are you as an attacker most viable in every situation? And what Coastline allows you to do as an attacker, you can send 2 people to the roof and cut off all of the top floor rotation ability. Now, there are a few hatches here and there, like in Hookah, Aqua, and Penthouse, but that's only 3 hatches. And some of the time, you might not even have the option to open that hatch with a shotgun or an impact grenade. So you might be forced to go through a hallway of some sort, and what the attackers can do is just set up a crossfire. Someone holds a VIP hallway, the other person holds luggage hallway, and you literally cut the map in half on the top floor. So, for that reason, and also you can do the same thing on the bottom floor, but it's not as effective as it is for the skylight. I just think Coastline is a low B tier map in my opinion. I don't really like playing it that much. I think it's an overplayed, stale map, even more than Border is, which is why I think it deserves the low B tier. Again, some people might disagree with me, which is fine. This is all in my opinion. But yeah, again, Coastline just kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth. Okay, moving on to Consulate. So Consulate is going to be below Chalet, above Bank. Now, the reason for this is because, again, the map is still viable in Pro League and competitive play, which shows a lot for a map that's been in the game ever since it came out. The only bomb site I dislike on this map is the CEO admin bomb site, or CEO projector meeting, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that bomb site, definitely the worst out of the 4 that you have to your selection. The garage, lobby, and archives tellers, played in the right situations and with the right people with good communication on defense, are all great and viable bomb sites in comparison to CEO. I'm not saying a bomb site like lobby, piano, or archives tellers is a great bomb site, because they're really not, but it's a better choice in comparison to CEO projector. So for that reason, I think it's definitely a map worth knowing, since it is going to be in the ranked map pool for the foreseeable future. I don't really see them taking the map out anytime soon. Now, I could be wrong. I don't work at Ubisoft. I don't know the next move in terms of taking or putting in maps in the ranked pool, but I enjoy playing the map. I enjoy attacking it. I enjoy defending it. Definitely more so than Bank and Border and Coastline, those maps that fall beneath it. So for that reason, I think it deserves the high B tier spot. Okay, keep in mind, I am only going to be reviewing and placing the ranked maps. So Favela, Fortress, Hereford House, all of these maps I'm going to skip right over, and I'm going to go to Cafe. Cafe is an S tier map, especially with the rework we got some seasons ago, fairly recently. It added everything Cafe lacked that it needed. With Ubisoft relocating the brown stairs or pillar stairs, whatever you want to call it, to a different spot, and also adding an extra room to Cigar in the new hatch and things like that, allowed the map to have a much better flow for the attackers. I still think it's a tad bit claustrophobic for an attacker-sided top floor attack, but overall, I still enjoy the map. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy loading in. When I see I'm going to be playing in this map, I look forward to it more than other maps. Okay, now moving on to Canal. I'm going to put Canal above Chalet, just because I've had a little bit more time played on it, so it allows me to have a more solidified opinion about how I feel about the map, how it can be played, etc. Now, some people might disagree with me here as well. People love to spawn peek on this map, and if you're someone who is very susceptible to spawn peeks, then you're probably going to die most of the attacking rounds by just trying to leave spawn. You should know if someone's spawn peeking most of the time, and there are exceptions for being killed by a new spawn peek or whatever it may be, but it's up to you to then remember whatever that new spawn peek it is that you died to. You have to keep in mind, you have one drone in the prep phase that you could very easily set up for a spawn peek on whichever side of the map you're spawning in on. So it's more of a fault of the player than it is the map design when you do get spawn peeked. I think just saying, oh, I got spawn peeked, I didn't know he was there, is kind of a excuse in some form. Again, you can get killed by something, by being caught off guard or whatever it may be. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I definitely get caught off guard and spawn peeked all the time, but it is definitely a fault of the user, not the map design. So that is why I think it deserves a B tier. I think 3 out of the 4 bomb sites are definitely viable on this map. I enjoy playing it, especially with the recent rework we got some time ago. I think it's definitely worth the spot above maps like Consulate and things like that. So yeah, that is why I think it deserves the B tier. Okay, moving on to Oregon. I think Oregon is an S tier map. Some people might disagree with me here. That's fine. Again, this is all in my opinion. The reason I think Oregon is an S tier map in comparison to other people's opinions is because I don't think those people that have those opinions understand the basics of attacking and defending a map. I assume that a lot of people probably struggle with attacking this map, which you kind of have to apply a pinch attack on this map on most bomb sites. There are exceptions for meeting and small tower dining attacks, but for basement and kids attacks, you kind of want to apply a pinch on your attack, a split take, whatever you want to call it, by either taking attic kids or someone getting on repels and then taking big window white, things like that. So I enjoy playing Oregon. I enjoyed the rework. Again, it's one of those maps that's been in the game ever since it came out. And with the rework, it added everything it lacked when it first did come out. So that is why I think it deserves the low S tier. Definitely not above Cafe or Clubhouse in my opinion, but it still deserves the spot that it is given. All right, moving on to Theme Park. I'm going to put Theme Park in the number 2 spot of worth knowing, B tier, whatever you want to say. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to move Theme Park down here a little bit. I'm going to put it in the lower number 3 location. Theme Park is a map that's a little bit harder to attack compared to others, in my opinion. People might say it's heavily defender-sided or defender-sided, and while I agree with them to an extent, again, I think that people need to understand the basics of attacking, droning, watching flanks, getting rid of utility, clearing utility, having accurate and consistent information during the round. But with the slight changes that the rework offered with Theme Park, it allowed many more bomb sites to be viable. For example, Throne and Armory was a great addition to the map, as well as changing some things up upstairs. It allowed you to play bomb sites like Office and Initiation a little bit better by moving that extensive hallway up a little bit more towards the top dragon area. That had a huge impact in how the upstairs bomb site is played. Again, Office Initiation. And then changing a few things up on the daycare bunk side just overall made most of the bomb sites on that map much more viable. Now, Drug and Storage is a bomb site that's very viable, but it takes a lot of coordination and strategical play in order to make it as viable as the other bomb sites on this map. So the other 3 are much easier. Drug Storage is definitely still a bomb site that you should not underlook. It's just going to take a little bit more understanding of how to play it and how to defend it. I kind of skipped over Outback here. I'm going to put Outback in the low B tier. You guys can very easily tell that I don't like playing Coastline. Again, for that simple fact that you can cut off all of the map's rotation, or at least I should say all of the top floor rotation, by holding 2 simple angles that are so advantageous to the attackers. I just don't like Coastline. It is my most disliked ranked map in all of the maps in this game. So, with that being said, Outback. A lot of people are gonna disagree with me here. Before you could ban maps in ranked, and we loaded into an Outback game, and someone's like, oh, I don't want to play Outback, I hate Outback. I always used to ask them, why do you hate about Outback? And they just say, oh, it's defender-sided. That's not really a great answer. For you to hate a map, I'm going to need a few good points for you to actually hate it. I think people just say they hate a map just because they either bandwagon or they actually don't understand why they dislike it or hate it, whatever you want to say. I don't like to say hate because I still enjoy playing certain maps to an extent, but I would much rather play other maps than the current map that whatever I'm playing, you know, whatever map I dislike I'm currently playing on. But back to my point. People say they hate a map and they just say, oh, because of this, oh, because of that. Well, I'm going to need a little bit more for you to actually say you hate something or hate a map. Because again, I think people just kind of bandwagon, don't really think for themselves, just kind of look at a map, don't understand how to play it, how to attack it, how to defend it, whatever it is, and they just kind of say, oh, I don't like this map. I hate it, whatever. So, Outback. I think it's a great map. I don't think it's better than the other maps that are lying ahead it, but overall, I think it's a map that added some things to the game. For example, the floor on this map, I'm pretty sure when Ubisoft announced this map at whatever major it was, they said that the floor was 90% destructible, which is something that we rarely see. That amount of soft destruction that you can apply in this map is absolutely insane. Pretty much wherever you go, there's a soft floor, a wooden floor that you can destroy, apply vertical play from. Crazy amount of vertical play that can happen on this map. So for that reason, I think it has a lot of strat potential for the defenders. I think it's a map that's very refreshing. I would definitely like to add a few more entrances for the attackers so it's not as easy for the defenders to lock down a location, etc. I do agree with people on that extent, but I don't think it's a map that everyone just needs to hate just because they want a bandwagon. So that's why I think it's above Coastline in my opinion, and why it deserves the B tier location. Okay, moving on to Villa. I'm going to put Villa in the S tier. I'm going to put it above, I'm going to put it above Cafe actually. Villa is just, I don't see how people don't like Villa. Like, it's so fun to play. Everyone knows how to play it for the most part, that is. It's somewhat easy to learn, I would say. It's not as easy as maps like Clubhouse or Cafe, but it's easy to learn. At least me looking at the map from a noob perspective, you could say. But yeah, overall, I enjoy playing Villa. I enjoy the rotation abilities that you can have. The roamers have a extensive list of locations that they can rotate from and through. I think the map has an overall great flow for both the attacking and defending side. And the strat potential on this map as well, I don't think we've seen nearly as much as we already have on this map in terms of strat potential, which is kind of where Pro League pushes the limits in that sense, is the strat potential, innovating the map, adding new things, trying new things, whatever it is. I enjoy Villa a lot. I enjoy playing it, which is why I think it deserves the high S tier. Okay, so and if you guys don't know, Skyscraper will be replacing Outback in the ranked map pool in Operation Neon Dawn. So that's why I've kind of put Outback in, and I'm also about to rank Skyscraper, is because we're currently still in Shadow Legacy, but Neon Dawn is right around the corner. So I decided why not just rank both maps for that reason. Skyscraper, I haven't played it a lot or enough, but I'm gonna put it above Outback. I think what UB did with this map is great by adding a few rooms here and there, and also taking a lot of the external locations that only the attackers could access and making them internal for both the attacking and defending side. It again changed some things up that the map should have had when it originally came out. So that is why I think Skyscraper deserves the low B tier. Again, my opinion on this map might change the more I play it. Again, I didn't play it nearly as much as I should have, but I think it's going to be a pretty solid map for the most part, and we're kind of going to be forced to play it to an extent in ranked since it is going to be replacing Outback. But yes, I think Skyscraper is going to be a solid map, okay to play, but I haven't played enough of it yet to actually give a solidified opinion about it. Okay, final review of this list. I'm not seeing anything I would like to change. Chalet, Consulate, Theme Park. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this list. I wouldn't really change too much here. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I think this list, a large majority of the players can agree with it. To an extent, I think. I'm pretty happy with this. Maybe Coastline would be moved around in some people's eyes, but I think overall, people can agree with this. So, as I was saying, if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. While you're down there, you can also find links to all of my social media, as well as my Patreon, Discord, and tip video playlists in the description. And with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video.